through this, we're exercising the mind in us. We're learning then about how this was brought into existence, the principles of it. Oh, and now we can see then that he must will eternally all that which is going to be like himself. Why must it be like himself? Because remember what we said before, it has a transformative power. Therefore, it has transformative power to become most like the ideal. The ideal is the model. The model, therefore, is the thing which all things become like. And therefore, we're going to have things in common with him, mind, each according to our aptitude, to whatever degree, to that very degree. Now, this is metaphysics. Is there any personal element in this? This is where he makes the shift. From the metaphysics to the personal, he runs back and forth. I'm at 1088A, about 6 lines down from the top. God, Jesus, he nevertheless runs to those who receive him, meets them, and welcomes all with an open embrace. Depending upon your capacity, the door is always open to the degree to which you can access it yourself. He nevertheless runs to those who receive him, meets them and welcomes all with an open embrace, doesn't accuse them of their former deeds, none of that, but rather loves things present. What does that mean? He loves the way things are in the present. Forget about the past sins and all that kind of stuff. He loves things in the present. Oh, why? And then he welcomes things? Good. He welcomes you with an open embrace. Right? He doesn't accuse you of former deeds and all of those difficulties because you're using your mind in this way. Hey, what just happened to the idea of sin? He transcended it, right? He just left it behind.
Isn't it just by the fact that if the good is perfect and one could not have sin?
Could not have sin. That's right.
It would be two then.
Would be two. Yes, at least. Yeah. Be dented. Damaged goods. Who wants a damaged God? You're right. Absolutely right. He proclaims a holiday, calls friends together, those that are good, so the house is filled with rejoicing of everyone. Right? Into parties. Right? Bringing good people together, enjoying, right? Enjoyment. Right. Right. No more suffering and that stuff. Right. So now he's going to take the other side. All right, what about all of this difficulties with sin and suffering and all of this? I'm on 143. Then learn divine things fitting for you when the time is right, by means of the ministers through whom you are deemed worthy. Right? Learn divine things fitting for you when the time is right. The fruit will drop. Right? For the sake of order and self-knowledge of being nearer. The closer you are to it, the nearer you are to it, the more you see. For the sake of order and self-knowledge. I'm at 1089A. Right. Therefore, there's this idea now that he's going to go into, which is an interesting notion, that according to the aptitude of the person, so it is that they see and experience. The more you want to then exercise your transformative powers, change, to that degree you see more. Each according to its status, each according to the aptitude, each according to the work one has done, each according to the transformative force they put into themselves. To that degree, they see accordingly. That's the idea of justice. Everything proper for its own place, functioning on the highest level at its own place. That's an idea of justice. That's the Greek idea of justice. He just sneaked in there without ever once mentioning the word. And, you see, one of the most important elements in this kind of philosophy is hierarchy. This is the cause of this, this is the cause of this can be the cause of this. There's a hierarchy. And as you proceed in your understanding, right, accordingly, you also change the way you are. Naturally, it has a transformative effect. Therefore, there's a built-in hierarchy that the person can ascend. It's possible to ascend. And in that ascension, there is an appropriate self-knowledge, realm of experience, appropriate, and that's just. You don't get more, you don't get less. Perfectly right, perfectly appropriate. Each person, therefore, I'm on page 145, 1092, each person must heed himself, right? Must heed himself. Forget your neighbors. Forget comparisons. Thinking neither of things higher or lower. Reflecting alone on the things allotted to him according to his merit. Wherever you are, that's where you have to do your work. Doesn't make any difference where anyone else is. Your work is where you are. So do your work. And what do you get? Accordingly, as you work, so you see. As you see, then you'll make distinctions. And making distinctions, you'll learn how to make distinctions, put it into words, learn how to then discourse in this way. And your arguments will be irrefutable. You have a model. Everything follows from the model. I'm at the 145, the last part. Each class of beings around God is more divine in form than that which stands further away. Those nearer the true light, more full of light, and able to shed light. Don't take it in a spatial sense, he says, but according to the sense of aptitude for receiving the gift of God. Therefore, hey, it's there being handed out. Get in line, get what's appropriate for you, and go on. I'm on 146 at 1093A. But to speak plainly, in all things there's a distribution from the first to the second by a well-ordered and most just providence for all. He's introducing the idea of providence now. Providence means that according to where you are, you get exactly what you're due. You get as much goodness as you can take. It's perfectly just and proper. And it is always in perfect intelligibility, since it's being directed beyond intelligence. Another word for providence, by the way, is dispensing the good or goodness.
Could you call it karma?
The cause of it, if there is a good, there's goodness.
Right, I'm saying...
The dispensing of goodness is another word for providence.
Isn't this the same?